Sorry, a little slow on the on the switch over. Welcome to Sundays with Max. It's going to be a small group tonight, it looks like. Only 15 people here. Well, thank you guys who are here. I appreciate it. JFA, Jean-Francois Bean, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Dan Bulmer, Crypto Tito, Mad Investor, Black Hat Team, T-Gig, and Burn. And that's all I got. That's all I got tonight. Hope you guys are all doing well. Just got a couple things to talk about tonight. And then, of course, 360 Mining. Good to see you, sir. Bacon, eggs, and hash. Got a couple of things to talk about tonight. Obviously, we have the 5090 coming out this week. And there's always news about 5090 right now. The one thing that I was actually kind of curious about was hopefully I get a 5090. Right now, my plan is to drive straight over to Micro Center after I get off work at 10 p.m. and then spend the night. So, but I do need to get over to Micro Center sometime this week because I want to know how they're going to handle. Are they going to basically say, nope, people need to stand outside? Or are they going to allow people to grab numbers when they get there and then be able to spend the night in their car? There's obviously, you can abuse that. If people grab a number and then leave, that's not good. So I don't know. They've done it a couple of different ways. They've also done it where it's just a straight lottery. Everybody gets there. Anybody who's there by, say, 7 o'clock or whatever, they then, everybody gets a number at that point, and then everybody is drawn randomly. So there's that too. But they did say they were going to do lines, although they discouraged camping. Didn't say you couldn't camp. They discouraged it. Okay. Um, I just found that really odd that they said that. So anyway, so that's my plan. Also going to see, I think Best Buy is doing it online like they have been. I have to get confirmation of that as well. And as long as they're doing that, then the Micro Center will be over well before Best Buy releases their 5090s. So those are my two strategies right now. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But one of the things I was really curious about with the 5090 was, how many people have PCIe 5.0 boards? I mean, they're certainly out there. You can get them, but how much worse are they going to perform in a PCIe 4.0? The 4090, when it was 4.0 versus 3.0, it was like 2% less. 4.0 16 lanes versus 3.0 16 lanes. So it was a very, very, very small difference in performance, at least for frames per second. And Der Bauer did 5, 4, and 3. And he noticed that there really wasn't much of a difference. It was like 2% from PCIe 5 to PCIe 4, and then another about 2 to 3% down to PCIe 3. So I thought that was pretty fascinating, but it did give me a question, which was, could the motherboards not be going down or overriding it and being auto instead of on Gen? You say you want Gen 3. So yeah, it's Gen 3, but somehow because it's really Gen 5, you have the ability to go above Gen 3 bandwidth. I don't know. It just kind of made me wonder if the motherboards were truly doing Gen 3 and Gen 4 when Der Bauer actually set those. So gave me kind of a question. So I'm kind of curious to see how it performs once, if I can get one. Obviously, no guarantee. We'll do the best we can to get one. I will have to figure out what my limit will be as far as price. I heard it's not an ROG Strix now, it's an ROG Astral. That one I guess is like $2,800. Yikes. That's a bit extreme. I was kind of hoping to get one for between 2,200 and 2,300. So not sure what all the prices are going to be, but Micro Center should have models from Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte, at least those three, and probably Zotac as well, but not sure about that one. But I'm pretty sure they'll have Zotac as well, just not sure if it'll be right at the launch. So anyway, that is the plan for that. But I did find it really interesting that it doesn't look like it'll really matter much for at least PCIe 4 and to PCIe 5. So that'll be good. I'll just have to make sure that I've got a good power supply for it if I get one. And then obviously make sure that whatever AI platform I put it on actually has approved it. I'm probably just going to try putting it on Vast and see what happens. Even if they haven't approved it yet, but I have a feeling that they will just allow it to go on. They know they're coming. It's not anything like earth-shatteringly different. It's still using the same NVIDIA. Well, it's using a slightly different NVIDIA driver, but yeah, in fact, the Linux NVIDIA driver hasn't come out yet. So that's the other thing. Although NVIDIA, well, one of the YouTube influencers who has one who wants to put it on Linux wasn't able to test it yet, but he was assured that by launch day there would be a new Linux driver for the 5000 series. So we shall see. All right, let's see. What did I miss? Did I miss anything in the chat? Let's see who else. Bacon Eggs, don't tell anyone you're a miner. Last time I stood in line, I almost got beat up by the gamers. I'll definitely tell them I'm not a miner. I'll tell them I'm doing it for AI. Hey, Allset, how you doing? Retro Mike, I know it's late, but the football game, and it was so disappointing. Refs won. Um, three lousy, really lousy calls went against the Bills changing the game. Anyway, that's just my take. I'm not the only one that feels that way. I know that. I am sure Tom Grossi is in the process right now of doing a reaction video, basically showing the Chiefs thanking the ref and the ref's going, "My pleasure," or something to that effect, or saying that the ref will say, "We won," or something to that effect. Anyway, if you haven't checked out Tom Grossi, he's really funny. He's got a lot of great videos. Check him out. All right. Yes, it is so late. It is so late. I'll probably only go for about an hour, maybe even less. Yeah, bacon, eggs, and hash. I'm only up because I was watching the KC Buffalo game. Exactly. And would you have turned it off with how exciting that finish was to come watch Sundays with Max? I think not. I wouldn't have. I would not have. Y'all crazy. It's just a GPU. I know it's just a GPU. Content, man, content. See, if I was a normal YouTuber, that would make sense. But since I really haven't been making consistent content, I did make content last week, and I have 2 scripts written right now, or most of the way written, for 2 things right now. One for, and I got to be careful on this one because it's obviously fresh and people are sensitive to it, but people have lost their seed phrases in the fires of California because they put it in a fireproof safe on a piece of paper. And that's not going to work. With how hot these fires burn, it's not going to work. So basically, going over that and then going over the different options that are out there and making sure that if you are going to get a metal seed phrase, that you make sure that is either stainless steel, which is the less expensive of the 2 options, or titanium, or something else that has a really high melting point. So yeah, that's really the right way to store a seed phrase. Obviously, storing seed phrases off premise at somewhere else is also a really good option. Just make sure you store it somewhere where it's encrypted. You're going to do it like on a USB, or make sure you obviously trust the person. That's always a good thing too. But anyway, I'm going to be doing a video on that, and then the other video I'm going to be doing something on, which, like I said, I have the script written. That one's almost completely written. I just got to bring together like the B-roll from when I repaired the 4090 with the new cooler and all the steps I went through thinking it was something else and then ended up where I was. So those are the 2 videos I've written the scripts for. So I don't know if I'll get them both done this week, but I'll get one done by Friday. That's the plan. That is the plan. Let's see. Oh, Sunflower Mama. Next time, be like Max and send a girl. She will get 3. For the record, somebody else got 3 as well. Yeah, she was willing to drive all the way to Huntsville to see if she could strike gold twice in the same spot. I said, nah, not on the first release. Not on the first release. Good evening, Integra Guy 04. Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer after the game. I'm sure Metro Mike is glad I didn't. Metro Mike, how are you not a mod? You are now a mod. Well, you will be in a second. Well, you're a mod now. I was like, how is he not a mod? Toxic Miner, welcome. And that drop catch on 4th and 12 will haunt Buffalo for a long time. Yeah, that was, I mean, honestly, that was like a Hail Mary, and he was struggling to get back to the ball. But yeah, that was, he could have caught that. Your other account was a mod? You have 2 accounts? Sounds sus to me. Ursa Prime, good evening. Valley Crypto, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. Good evening to you as well. Gotta have a million accounts to win those panda giveaways. Shh. Don't give him our secrets. Can't give him our secrets, Retro Mike. Yeah, I mean, I've got like 5 email addresses. And I know you're going, only 5? I know, but I get guilty after 5. How do I like working second shift? No, he did. He asked the question. It's okay. I like the excitement of first shift. There's always something, pulling you in and needing attention. And our first shift needs attention. Our second shift doesn't seem to need as much attention. So I like it from the fact that, and I told this to my new boss, I said, look, give me projects because my supervisor's great. He does a great job. I just have to check up on him a little bit and he's good. So that allows me to get a lot of the work that I need to get done. And, but sometimes I could be doing more things. And so I did mention to him, hey, if you have some things that need to get done, and I've definitely been finding things that need to get fixed and I've been fixing them. And so I don't know. It's different, I guess is the best way. It's not good. It's not bad. It's different. I haven't had any trouble yet getting all the way home without thinking I might fall asleep at the wheel. That was one of my concerns. But I think a lot of that has to go with the fact that when I get home, if I'm tired, I go right to bed and I don't set an alarm anymore. So my body kind of tells me when to wake up. So I'm not getting as overtired as I used to. If I wake up tired, I just roll over and go back to sleep. So yeah, it's like I said, it's different, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm glad that I'm still generally sleeping the same hours that I was sleeping before. So my body clock didn't really have to change much, just a little bit in the fact that I would tend to get very sleepy about the time that I would get home from my previous shift at around 4:30. But my body adjusts very quickly to not doing that, not trying to fall asleep at that time. So that's still a very busy time at work. So that time comes and goes very quickly. I see you in the morning. What are you talking about? I probably see her more because I'm around in the morning and we're both having coffee and she's in one room, I'm in the other. But the point is that it's the beginning of the day when we're both fresher. So we generally do talk more at the beginning of the day than we do at night because I come home tired. And she's generally more tired at that time of night too. So, anyway, but yeah, it's just different. I thought that Retro Mike, that you told Panda that, shoot, who was it? That person couldn't win the pigeon. Who is the person that couldn't win the pigeon? Pigeon coin. Rude Puts. Welcome, sir. Oh, so now, okay, man, you're putting in so much fine print that now Rude Puts can't win the Vert coin giveaway. Oh, it was Crag. That's right. Crypto Crag was the one that was prohibited from winning the pigeon. Yeah. All righty. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, you know what? Somebody who is here. I thought so. I was like, I'm looking. Who is here? I won't say who it is unless he wants to chime up. Asked me, where do I have my Flux stored? I was actually asking you for a cold storage wallet. So I have my Flux stored in the SSP wallet. So it's good and bad. I'll give you my review of the SSP wallet. It's good in the fact that it is very, very secure. The way it works is a multi-sig wallet. So you have an app on your phone and you have the SSP Chrome extension. Okay. So when you go into the Chrome extension, normally you just got to type in a password. I'll get more on that later, but normally you would just type in a password and then it would bring up what you have. But if you wanted to transact anything, it would then bring up a barcode to scan so that you could then scan it with your SSP. So that's like you have two seed phrases with this: the one that belongs on the phone app and the one that's on the Chrome extension. Now here's where things get a little weird in the fact that if the Chrome extension senses that somehow you aren't in the same browser or something's changed, it then makes you recover the wallet, go through the recovery process, which is very simple. You just need the seed phrase, type in a new password, and have the SSP key on your phone because you'll have to scan that. Now, the one thing that has kind of freaked me out on occasion is when I go to recover it and I scan the key, it immediately brings me into a blank wallet because it's the Bitcoin wallet. It doesn't automatically bring you into the wallet where you have the most stuff in it. So I then have to switch to Flux and then rescan the SSP key in order to get into that wallet. But it is very secure, very, very secure. Honestly, it kind of almost makes it's not irrelevant. The password's not irrelevant, but it makes it less important because the important piece is the multi-sig, the piece that's on your phone. So yeah, I like the SSP wallet. It's good. It doesn't have as good of an interface as Zelcore, but from a usability, I don't want to say usability because I think the usability can be improved, but from a safety perspective, I think it's really, really safe. So I am not concerned about losing my Flux. So Nasity, I know I responded to you. Sorry, I just told him. Okay, good. You came in, you already volunteered yourself. But yeah, thanks for asking that question. I thought it was a good question. But yeah, you can, in some of the wallets, you can store Flux, but it's on a side chain. It's either on like Flux Ethereum or Flux BNB or whatever. It's on one of the other things, and then you can store it. But I like to store it a native because it costs a lot of money to go from the side chain back to Flux. So plus I'm running nodes, so I have to obviously have them staked either in Zelcore or SSP, which you can run nodes from SSP. So that's what I'm currently doing. So thought that was a good question. Talked about that. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. I was doing a little bit of research on this. FYI, there are currently no tariffs on GPUs or motherboards. None. They're right now an exemption under old Biden rules that started last May and expires this May. So right now, there aren't any GPU tariffs. So we'll see. It's another reason why I want to try to get it early, because if they kick those things back in soon, then the prices will, I think, go up just like they did the last time. But we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. So I'm worried that if I don't get it this go around, which is why I really want to get one, if I don't get one this go around, then I may be out of luck because I'm not going to spend, $2,800, $3,000 on a 5090. Well, I suppose if I find out that it's making a ton of money on VAST, maybe I will, but the plan is not to spend that much money on a 5090. Rambler says, I still have my mining gear from 2021. Any suggestions on what I should do with all the hardware like Mobos, CPUs, and GPUs during the 2021 time? Basically, they're NVIDIA 3000 series. Is that what you're saying? You said X NVIDIA 30s. So I think you mean that they are 30s. I think you're just looking to see what to do with them. Obviously, it all depends on your electric rate. If your electric rate is average, yeah, you're not really going to be making any money mining with those for the most part. All I can say is I'm selling my 3000 series, except for my 3060s. My 3060s, I currently have on. Oh, that just picked up a job. I can hear it. My 3060s, I just put on Vast. I'm hoping that they get verified, because when they're not verified, they don't make a lot. I mean, they make a little bit, but they don't make much. So we keep our fingers crossed on that. That's probably going to take a few weeks, most likely. But all the other ones, I wanted to try to get them listed this weekend. I got a little lazy. I shouldn't say I got lazy. I did other things. I did a good portion of my taxes, because my taxes, well, business and all that kind of stuff, it can be a little complicated. So I got all my deductions in for the hardware that I purchased that was related to the business. I put in all the documents for the most part, like the 1099s, obviously W-2s. I got those a while ago. Those were already in, but yeah, basically got all that in. So it looks like I won't owe very much. Looks like it's probably going to be like $20 or something. $23 is what it's currently showing. So I think that's probably what I'm going to owe, and then not get anything back from the state. So that's the way I want it to work, is that I don't get anything back and then I have to pay just a little. I like to keep my money. I don't want the government to have my money. That's the way I look at it. I know a lot of people look at it as like a forced savings plan, but that's not the way I look at it. Now, the one thing I haven't completed is, well, I have not put in my payments to Terra yet, and I have not done my Koinly yet. I've started the Koinly. I think I have all the wallets in now, but now I have to go through all the transactions to make sure that they are listed correctly, especially when you do a transfer via Simple Swap or Swap Space. When you do it through them, Koinly has a little bit of trouble matching those two transactions up, because they treat it like two separate transactions. So especially considering they're not like tied to the same wallet. So anyway, I'll figure all that out, but yeah, so I still have some work to do there. But I don't think that's going to change my taxes much, as I was surprised. I have more hardware that I bought this last year than previous years. It's about the same as what I bought last year. So that kind of surprised me. But then I thought, well, I bought more expensive stuff with the 4090s. And I'm trying to remember exactly. I bought quite a few 4090s this year. So yeah. All right, let me get back to the chat. Let's see. What are we talking about, Colombian? Oh, Danny Grace asked, is the Vast NiceHash Docker combo worth it? I didn't find it was, but your mileage may vary. So last year when I went to Mining Disrupt, I talked to them about it, because they like had a little flyer on it, but it did not work. I couldn't get it to work with Vast initially. So then I kept working with them, and then finally it worked, and I was like, awesome. But then at that point, mining was not very profitable at all. So it really just depends. Is it profitable to do it? Yeah, because it's just treated like a background job. If you get somebody who wants to, rent your hardware, that's going to make you more money than mining. Or at least it should. Otherwise, you have your prices set wrong. So yeah, I mean, any type of background job, depending on the hardware, like the 3060s, I do not have those doing a background job when they're not rented. it's not worth it. But with 4090, yes, I do do that. So it just really depends. Do your own analysis, look to see what your profitability is, what you're comfortable with. I think that's what makes the most sense. Rambler. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I didn't scroll down. Blackhead team. Dude. Let's see. That's funny, Retro Mike. No. I will just say no to Christopher Columbus. Who founded Columbia? Oh, you got a cramp? You okay? Did you smell? Okay. Wife has a cramp. Seems to be going around. I get them all the time. So yeah, she did actually say, I guess that did, but no, it's Colombia. No, Retro Mike, you're supposed to be buying hardware from me. I'm only talking just about what I'm doing. I'm not going into any detail. I'm just bringing it to people's attention because don't leave it till last minute because I've done that in previous years. I am way ahead of the game compared to previous years. But yeah, like I said, I didn't do a video today, but I did do other things. I did a module for the data analyst certification that I'm taking. Also kind of planned out some other modules I'll be taking after that. Yeah, just kind of, today was kind of a thinking morning, more than anything was what it was. Like I said, I wrote out the scripts this morning, and then the afternoon I was kind of sleepy, but didn't go to sleep. All right, let's see what else you guys are talking about. The big money maker is now eggs. $8 for 12 eggs is not normal. LOL. There is money to be made, I think. Yeah, I don't know where you're buying eggs, Rude Puts, but $3.79 at Aldi was where my wife just went there because I eat a lot of eggs. On a keto diet, eat a lot of eggs. At least 2 a day. At least 2 a day. Bacon, eggs, and some of us have to get up at 4 a.m. Yeah, that's used to be the way. I used to have to get up at 5 a.m., not 4 a.m. Travelers Travels, welcome. Which GPU should I keep to play GTA 6? I don't know. I basically would say just keep the nicest one. The best one you got. I mean, GTA 6 will play on any of them. Right now, I have a 3070 in my computer. Now, when all said and done, probably going to take the 4070 Ti out of Vast or Salad because it's not really doing much, and so I think it'd be better to have in my computer. And then I'm going to put a 3070 FE in my wife's computer because that's the next best one I've got, because the 4070 I have, that one I'm trading for my daughter for two 3060 Ti's. And she hasn't gotten back to me, Retro Mike, about what kind of 3060 Ti's she has. Because I think she's got two EVGAs, and I think one of them is a 3-fan version and one is a 2-fan version. I know, but she's back at home now and she hasn't gotten back to me. Anyway, I was just giving her crap. Good point, Retro Mike. Also, who names their kid Cristobal? I don't know. Or is it Cristobal? By the way, this is just kind of, I don't even remember how we got down this road, but we were talking about memes. and about funny memes. And we're like, instead of having, she's like, we should have a Halloween party in the summer. I'm like, it's not a Halloween party, it's a meme party. Dress up as your favorite meme. And then I realized I was trying to figure out which meme I would dress up as. I was first thinking I would be the Alec Baldwin guy who is just pouring whiskey. And then I thought, no, he's got to have a better character than that, a better meme than that. Pete Sweaty. That would be the meme I would be. Pete Sweaty. Sweaty balls. If you don't know it, look it up on Saturday Night Live. It is a hilarious Saturday Night Live skit from many, many years ago when Alec Baldwin was much younger. Pete Sweaty. All right, but I digress. Let's see, what else are you guys asking? Is 3090 worth it on salad? Let me show you. I'll let you be the judge. Let me show you the last 7 days. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. Nope. That one. There we go. All right. Let me scroll down and do earnings. And then those three are the 3090s. And let me do 7 days. So, oh, sorry. So today, $1 to $1.90, which is pretty much what the last 3 days were. I guess that one day made $2.22. Certainly making a heck of a lot better than mining, that's for sure. That was when they were having issues, so I don't really even count that day. This day was the start of the issues, so that was a relatively down day. This was a pretty good day. And then I think back here, this one, yeah, this one is the one I've got at a VM, and it had been doing really poorly for a while, and now it seems to be doing okay. Like right now, it's making more today than all the other things. And like I said, I just heard it kick up, so I know it's on right now. So it does pretty well. Right now, the plan is to leave the 33090s on salad. And then, like I said, the only thing I've got left on it besides the 33090s are a 4070 and a 4070 Ti. And they're both going to come off fairly soon. I will move some things around because I need to make sure that if I get a 5090, that's a big if, it will need to go in a rig with at least 1,000-watt power supply. So that's the plan. That is the plan. Let's see. I can't wait for my Wingbits and Sky 100 that are supposed to ship in January. That Wingbits project is pretty cool. I don't know how much you make or anything on it, but I do think it's a cool project. It's cool to play around with and see like what your unit is actually seeing as far as airplanes in the sky. I think that's pretty cool. So the 3090, I will say, yes, I think it's worth it on salad. I think it's worth it on salad. I'm very confused. Ask Chris in LA something with. Oh, Crystal. Okay, got it. Back to that. I'm the cause of family drama. Oh boy. That doesn't surprise me, Retro Mike. Does not surprise me at all. T-mining, sorry. Haven't been able to figure out Vast. Too difficult for me, so how about Salad? So, hold on. Let me find you a link. It literally is as easy as following commands. It's really that easy. The only thing it doesn't tell you, T-mining, if you want to DM me, I can help you through exactly what to do when you load. There's just a small thing I need to teach you, and when you load Ubuntu 22.04, otherwise there is, if you look up VAS tools, VAS, I don't know if it's got 2 T's or 1 T. I'm not doing a vast tutorial. I don't need to do a vast tutorial. I can tell you where to go. There we go. So this is the install guide. I am putting it in chat right now. So there's your link. And it basically starts how to, start with a clean install of Ubuntu 22.04 HWE kernel server. Don't worry about that. Just install 22.04 server. Do not do desktop. Install server. The other thing when you're installing server, basically you're just going through everything. It's standard English, whatever. When you get to the drive section, do not leave. Basically you uncheck LVM and then go to the next screen. Then it will basically try formatting your entire drive. It'll have one section for EFI and then I'll have the second partition for the rest of the drive. That's where you, anyway, what you want to do is go into that, click on it, edit it, put it at 50 gig, click OK, and then it will have all this other empty space that VAST will allocate. Okay. So, and then the other thing is make sure that you enable SSH. Got to make sure you enable that. So other than that, that's pretty much it for getting it installed. It just does it and then you're done. Got to make sure you know what the IP address is so you can SSH into it. And then at that point, then you just start with these commands that I just sent you on the link. It's really like, and make sure you're doing it on one drive. It's complicated when you do it on two drives. You can do it on two drives. I don't suggest it. Just do it on one drive. Get a big enough drive. I suggest at least a 2 terabyte drive. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I literally loaded one up in, I don't know. I was getting interrupted. It was about an hour. I mean, it's really doesn't take that much time. It really doesn't. Let's see. Wingbit's still in testnet. Okay, well, I guess same thing what I'm doing with Accuras with my phones behind me. So very similar to that. So it might be worth something someday. We'll have to see. Thanks, T-Mining. I appreciate wishing me luck on the 5090. Yeah, not on Microsoft OneDrive. Yeah, do it on one, preferably an NVMe, but certainly not. Don't do it on a hard disk. Do it on at least an SSD. But I would suggest doing it on an NVMe. 2 gig NVMEs don't cost that much now, and it's definitely worth the investment. Here's one other thing that's really key difference between VAST and Salad. If you do Salad for about a year, there's a pretty good chance that your drive's going to fail because it writes a ton of data. A ton of data. Terabytes a day if it has a job. So just keep that in mind. So you will go through drives on Salad unless you get like an enterprise drive or something like that. I know Swamp 7 that's provided me a lot of info. He had been getting like used enterprise drives. So you like used drives, well, they're already partially used. Yeah, but because they're enterprise drives, they have more life left on them when they're done being used than a brand new consumer drive. So you can find those on eBay as well. So you can check those out as well. Yeah, I know. Imagine if I did a tutorial video on VAST. I could, but it's kind of, I mean, I guess I can hold my camera now that I have the Pocket 3. I guess I could use that. I guess I could. Maybe I'll do that. Here, hang on a second. Let me put it in Notion as an iVideo idea before I forget. VAST tutorial. I don't want any more people on VAST. That'll just make more people come to VAST and then I'll have competition. Why would I want that? Why would I want that? Anyway. Just for you guys, just for people that come to my live streams. I have so many different video ideas right now. Retro mic, it probably could last me last me like 3 or 4 months if I do one a week. And that's pretty much on what I'm making sure that I at least do one a week. No. Why would they expedite it? I'm ready to sell them. I thought I was waiting on you. So yeah, if you want them, let me know. I was trying to see. I still haven't gotten the 3060 Ti out of my wife's computer yet. I still have to do that. I think that one. Can you go down there and look to see if it's an EVGA card that's the same size as that one? Look in your computer. Look at the graphics card. Is it the same size as that one? It's the EVGA. Yeah. Yes, she does have an EVGA small card, so I can take that one out too if you want it. Same size. That one I believe has a backplate on it though. Not positive. Let's see. Burns like, do the vast tutorial. All right, maybe I'll do it. That is true. It is evergreen content. A lot of the stuff I do isn't evergreen. Like the 5090 probably isn't going to be evergreen content. Although, what am I at? Drum roll, please. I have hit 5160. So I have gained some subscribers since last week. So that's pretty cool. Oh, no. He only got me to 5130. The other 30 subscribers were from that video. So, yeah, I suppose I know. Funny how that works. You actually get subscribers if you do content. I think I've heard some guy named DJ like scream that from the hills at me. You're waiting on me. What are you waiting for? Do you want to know like how to pay for them? Is that it? Anyway, DM me. We don't need to talk about this here. Let's see. What else was I going to talk about tonight? There was one other thing I was going to talk about. Has anybody heard of DeepSeek? DeepSeek R1. I will. You know what? Actually, let me bring up ChatGPT. As it'll be just easier. What is DeepSeek R1? And before I do that, what do you guys? The person that created it is in China. It was not government sponsored though. That's a key. It was not government sponsored. Anybody else have any more information on what DeepSeek is? Because it is going to be revolutionary. Yeah, it's been all over your feed today. Yeah, anybody who's been. You don't like my key clicks? You don't like those key? I love that sound. The sound, it's like butter. It's like butter. As Chum Change would say, butter. Or is that New York? Anyway, interesting to see what you think of Mindsum 10. Why would I think anything of Mindsum 10? I'm confused on that comment, J Rose. Did he do a specific? Okay, you retracted it. All right, well, whatever. Yes, clickety clack. Although it's not clicky. They're actually linears. It's just the way they sound when they bottom out. And I have a heavy touch, so that's one reason why I like this keyboard, because it does have a heavier feel to it. Yeah, I do love this thing. All right, so what is DeepSeek R1? It is basically, without me reading this, it is a new, like you have, OpenAI, and it's a different company and it has a different system that it uses, and its benchmarks using less resources. It has less resources and has better benchmarks. But anyway, let me read this to you. Deep1 R1 is an advanced artificial intelligence model developed by the Chinese AI company DeepSeek, released on January 20, It is designed to perform complex reasoning tasks, including mathematics and coding, achieving performance comparable to OpenAI's O1 model, which is the model that, especially if you pay for ChatGPT, I'm not sure what the model is when you don't pay for ChatGPT, but when you do pay for ChatGPT, that's the model that you generally use is O1. So there's a lot of detail in it, but the fact is they were forced to create a model that had to use less resources because they couldn't have access to the same hardware that companies in America. So they did it based upon, I think it was 2000 H800s, because that was like the most advanced GPU that they could get, or at least according to them, that's what they used. Who knows if they actually like went out to cloud computing and used that? I don't know, but it's pretty fascinating how quickly they caught up. The big thing that is freaking people out though is the fact that the company made it open source, meaning anybody can use it for free. So colleges, research have started really using this model. Now, my concern about it is exactly what everything else that comes from China is, are they somehow collecting data when you use the model, when you download the model? I don't know. My assumption is that you can download the model and run it offline. In other words, when you're running it, you don't have to be connected to the internet. You can just run it in your own little sandbox, shall we say. So I don't know. That's just kind of my tinfoil hat on type of thing. The one thing I did read was, how did this guy get the money to do all of what he did? Well, he created an AI for trading, made a ton of money that way, and then spun it into the AI model. So yeah, relatively small company, but definitely up and coming. So it's going to be interesting. But the companies in the US that have spent so much money on creating these GPU farms, these AI centers, because they feel like they need more and more and more resources to do more and more complicated models. Maybe not. Maybe they're just, it was kind of like way back when, I don't know how much it is now, but there used to be so much bloat in coding. And I think people have gotten back to cleaner coding. I'm sure there's still some out there that are still somewhat bloated, but I think it I don't know. I find this really fascinating because these companies have been working at this so long, and then this company comes out of nowhere. I shouldn't say out of nowhere. They've been working on it for a little over a year publicly. And they released version 3 last November or December, which probably sound like that was like a release candidate, and then, or the last beta. And then I'm guessing this one, since it says it's R1, it's probably the first release candidate would be my guess. Or maybe it's release 1, because release candidate usually is RC1. I don't know. But definitely find it interesting. All right, let's get back to the chat. Mindsum10 had a video on the hash rates of the 5090 based on NiceHash. Oh, yeah. I mean, nobody should be buying the 5090 to mine with. I think that's very clear. There isn't any additional efficiency with it, so you're not gaining that. This is developed. The 5090 is developed on the same 4 nanometer node. It's the same node, so there's no IPC uplift like you have with other generational changes, like from whatever, I forget what the one was, the 3000 series, and then there was Ampere, which was 4000 series. So, you know, when you went to Ampere, that was going to the 4 nanometer node. There was an IPC uplift. There was a lot of efficiency gains by going to the 4000 series. Going to the 5000 series, they literally have just made a bigger GPU die and included some other really cool software and a few extra hardware pieces on that chip that also give it more functionality than the 4090, especially in AI type loads. So that's why I'm really curious to see what like some, going on to a rental service like Vast, what they're actually going to be able to take advantage of within a Docker container. I'm also thinking that maybe if you have a 5090, you may want to think about making sure within Vast that you can actually allow somebody renting it to use it as a VM, because that is an option. Not too many people have done that yet, from my understanding, but that may be a requirement to take advantage of all the features of the 5090. But I'm only speculating at this point. Let's see, what else are you guys talking about? Every connected AI platform takes ownership of any data put into it. It's in the fine print of the acceptable use policy. Well, that's anywhere in the US. The China model, which is open source, the question is that can you download the model and then go offline? It's open source. I don't know why you couldn't. That's what I would do if I was using it. If I couldn't do that, then I wouldn't use it. That's for sure. They move into Switzerland. The guys who developed DeepSeek are moving to Switzerland. Is that what you're saying? Or are you talking about somebody else? Oh, T-Gig says, I don't mind the key sound. Just laughing about how Sunflower Mama doesn't like them. Yeah. Feel like I do need to lube the space bar. The stabilizers on the space bar. That's the only thing that I don't like about this keyboard right now. Retro Mike says, Docker uses the same GPU pass-through tech that Proxmox does. Yeah, I know, but why is that such a big deal within Vast, though? Because, they made a big deal out of the fact that, hey, yeah, we can, if you do these other few things, somebody who rents your GPU can basically do it via a VM instead of doing it via a Docker container. Yeah. T-Mining says, afraid it's all going towards KYC and have lost my driver's license for now. Please don't judge. Oh. Okay. Let me go back. Oh, got it. Sorry. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense when I read the initial question. Sorry for missing that. If anybody does want me to read a question, please tag me. You should be able, I know in Illinois, you're able to get a state ID, which is not a driver's license. It's a state ID. So if you got one of those, I believe that would work. Because that's really what they're looking for. Yes, it makes it a little hard to go get, but if you could get there, you could get one of those. Oh, got it. I thought he said don't judge, so I thought maybe something happened. Okay. You just lost it. Okay, got it. Sorry. I wasn't judging. I just misinterpreted. Got it. Nice Hash is going KYC, moving to Switzerland. New rules. Got it. Retro Mike, because VM gives full access. Totally get that. That's why I haven't done it yet. Docker has some limitations. You can't do everything you can normally do if SSH'd into a full OS instance. Docker is nested layers on top of the host OS. Yeah, I get all that. That's what I was saying. That I figured there were probably some things you couldn't do. So, yeah. Right now, to deploy items onto compute platforms, you have to create a custom Docker image. It's extra work that many clients don't want to do. Yeah, it's a good point. I totally get that. When I was trying to create a Docker image for my Unraid so that I could just load it within their Docker system, I didn't have the patience to figure out how to do it. I know it's not that difficult, but I lost patience. Totally lost patience. Totally lost patience. All right, well, let me go back to full screen since I'm not really talking about anything that's over there. Well, let's do this. Let's take a look at the markets. I know they're bad. Remember, it's Sunday. Markets are always bad on Sunday. Let's see how bad they are. How bad are the markets? Oh, Bitcoin still above 100,000, but just barely at 101. Ethereum still above 3,000. Not bad. XRP still at $3, so hasn't broken $3. Let's see. Solana 235. That's dropped quite a bit. Now here's the thing. If we look at, this is what I always love. Sunday to Sunday is a good indication. Looking at a full week, because days of the week do have tendencies, especially Sunday. So we're down 1/3% from last week. We're trading sideways, people. So no big deal. No big deal. And if we look, let's see, anybody, okay, so Dogecoin down 9.5% over the week. Not great, but it's a meme coin. You got to expect that. Cardano back at 92 cents. Not great. Might see a bump if they do the stuff that they're talking about doing with US cryptocurrencies not having to pay capital gains tax on them. I honestly, I don't see how that benefits the projects. Because what that will end up doing once they implement that, that will cause a lot of volume on that particular coin, a lot of sell volume and rebuy volume, because people will be like, that's fine. I've got some gains. Why not cash them in now that I know that there's going to be no capital gains? They might change it next year. So I think it will cause more havoc. I think it will actually do some short-term damage to prices of crypto as things kind of flush themselves out. I don't think it'll do any long-term damage, but short-term, it would make things, I think, a little bit crazy. Let's see. Not against it, just saying that. And I honestly don't think it's going to happen. It's something that Congress is going to have to approve, and it's going to be way down on their list of priorities because they still have a budget that they have to present. Yeah. And their priority is extending the Trump tax cuts. That's their priority. This will get lost in the noise, at least until that's done. So I don't know. I'm skeptical that that's gonna be able to get passed. Let's see, anything else. So we've got Stellar Lumens, which is 11% down. Shiba Inu down 9. Sweet. Down almost 16%. That's not good. I don't own any of it, so it doesn't really matter that much to me. Pepe down 16%. Official Trump down 40% from a week ago, but we all know it was happening a week ago. Not a big surprise, but it is down 11% today. Not good for those holders of Trump. Let's see. Mantra up 25%. There's a winner. Mantle up 14. I'm just looking for double digit at this point, up or down. Radium up 14%, not bad. Gate token up 15%. Lido, is that Lido Stake ETH? Up 21%. Wow, did that drop down a lot? I thought it was up higher a long time ago. Ah, cool. Jupiter's up over $1. Nice. Nice. Finally. It was down below $1 for a while. So yeah, I gotta think about that. I gotta unstake that and decide what I'm gonna do with it. Since I got my airdrop, whole 35 Jupiter, not that much. But I do like the platform. It is a really nice platform to transact on. All right, let's see. KuCoin token up 20% over the last week. Interesting. No idea why that would be the case. All right, let me change to my watch list. Oh, hang on. I have to, give me a second. Log in. Log in. Oh, that was quick. Yep, there we go. Bring that back up here now. All right. Oh, let's see. Oh, Uniswap down 17%. Dang. That's not good. That's not good. All right, let's get into some of these other ones that are interesting. Let's see. Helium down 20% over the last week. It has not been doing well. It's been taking some blows, that's for sure. Ravencoin down 2%. That's not much. Flux down 4%. Under 50 cents again. I don't like that. Hive Mapper down to 5.7 cents. Down 5.7%. Lithium, Demo, both down over 10%. And let's look at lowly Neoxa down almost 8%. Not even a tenth of a cent anymore. That one kills me. I'm hoping it will make at least a little bit of a comeback during the altcoin bull run, but losing faith rapidly. Pre-search not down much over the last week, but usually it has been up to 2 cents recently, so that is disappointing as well. All right, let me go back to the chat. Let's see. Yep. T-Mining says, okay, great. Thanks, Max. Think North Carolina requires appointments now, so it just can't show up for IDs or anything else. Well, that stinks. I think Alabama's the same way. I think my son had to make an appointment whenever he needed anything. Yeah, maybe you can get one replacement online. I would think that if you lost your license, that would like equal an emergency type of thing. You should be able to get it. I don't know. That's just my thought. Yeah, Bacon Eggs and Hash. I like Jupiter as well. I use it quite a bit. I do use it. Alrighty, guys. It has been a little over an hour. Next week, I will be at the normal time. Back at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. The following week, I will have to decide whether I'm going to do something early in the day or I'm going to do something Monday morning. I'm definitely leaning towards Monday morning because people are going to be going to Super Bowl parties. Everybody, goes in the afternoon and then they watch the game at night. And yeah, so I'm really thinking that that'll be one day that I will do a Monday morning stream, which hopefully I'll be able to pull some people from international. So yeah. Well, anyway, I appreciate you guys all being here. Let's see how many people, 39 of you. Well, more people showed up at least. So I appreciate that. Hope you guys all have a great week and I will see you back here next Sunday. All righty. General is out. Have a good week, everybody.